my strategy was like, I'm gonna rent the hottest place up front, 1 year up front. I'm gonna pick the hottest dates for proms. And if one of my colleagues won this date, I'm gonna sell him it.
Like retrade the lease for that
Exactly.
night.
So if I rent it for $8,000, so I sell it for $15,000.
We're in Houston right now, walking our new 56 crazy property here. It starts down there. We got Alon Aboksis, $1 billion man.
It is May 2022 and Talk Shop Podcast has another episode. This week's guest is Alon Aboksis. He's a family member of mine, call each other cousins. He lives in Israel and he runs, funny enough, a company called Prom Israel. They're one of the biggest prom creators, right? They host prom events in the country of Israel. And that might be really uncommon for people in America to hear, but it's a business in different countries. So I thought he would be a fitting guest to talk about this stuff, and I'm excited to get into it. Until then, we have closings coming up this week. Avgi is closing on some Houston projects right now. That's really exciting. And Allon and I partnered up on a couple deals in St. Louis, so we're hopping on a plane Wednesday to go check them out. We've got 14 houses over there to date so far, and we're going to ramp that up as we speak. We're happy with management, and we want to just go see it with our own eyes. Both of us haven't been to St. Louis yet, and we have 14 projects going on. So, with that being said, I want to introduce the one and only Alon Aboksis.
Thank you.
Alon, please tell everybody what you do.
So the past 10 years, I'm producing proms, mostly in Israel, of course. We're doing the whole thing, like the promotion, location, catering, food, everything. That's what we're doing. As you say, my company is Prom Israel. And in the past 2 years, we're doing real estate here together, me and you.
Yeah, how did
So
you
we
get
started
into
in New York and now St. Louis and everywhere.
How did you get into proms in Israel?
By mistake, completely by mistake. I organized a lot of parties in Israel back then when I was like 20, 19. And one of my employees say, listen, you want to do prom to my high school? I say, of course. And I have no idea what to do. So I just open YouTube, take an oath, and just write everything, like everything that I saw on this video. And that's how we start, by mistake. One prom, 1 year, and then next year 4 proms, 8, 20, 26, 30, and
So on.
it just got bigger and bigger, yeah.
So,
Completely by mistake, by the way.
and then you just hyper-focused on proms.
Yeah, and then I saw like that it's like high margin, great money. I thought at the beginning it's easy, but no.
It's not easy.
Nah, it's super stressful and super hard. And then we become to be like the number one.
It must be seasonal. What's the seasons? What is prom season in Israel?
June and July. It starts like from 1st of June until like 14th of July, and that's it. But for that's frame of time, we work like the whole year. Like I start in September, I finish the sales like January, February, and from that time and on, just like working to collect the money, to talk with all the kids. It's like 5,000-6,000 kids every year.
Wow.
And it's a lot of headache. Yeah.
So from September to January is sales.
Yeah.
Then it's
Then
collecting
it's
payments and
collecting
coordinating.
and producing meetings and calls and all the headache around it. And we close all the suppliers and a lot of location tools and all the headache around it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's an average prom cost?
Today it's let's talk in dollars.
Yeah.
So it's like $150.
A person.
Yeah, today. 160, between 140 to $165.
And what's the biggest issue in the Israeli prom game?
How the people.
Israelis aren't easy to work with.
No, not easy at all. Like I think the toughest in the world. The biggest problem in Israel, it's the environment and a lot of terror attacks and stuff like that. So we can work hard like 10 months, 8 months, and then June and July bam, we have a war with Gaza, with terrorists and stuff like that. So it can be cancelled like in one day, and then you lost everything for one night.
Wow.
Yeah, it's happened twice.
Really?
Yeah, in the past 11 years, it's happened twice.
Like there was just a full-blown war and you lost out on all the
Stop
business.
war, and then we pushed the dates and pushed, and that's it. But the problem in Israel, we can't push it after 15th of July, because after 15th of July, the high school kids go into the army. Like, you have to go to the army when you become 18.
Yeah.
So that's it. So you can't push it anymore. And if we didn't do all the proms like 14th, 15th of July, that's it.
What a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah, yeah.
It's things you don't think about in America.
No.
I've never even thought about that stuff.
No. And then we had COVID, and it's also had a headache. Like
COVID we all dealt with.
Yeah.
But
so
like war
after,
and then army. So you can't even get around it because the army begins.
No.
Damn, those kids must have been so upset.
Yeah, once we had like 25, 24 proms, and end of the season we have another 3 proms, and then start war again with Gaza, and Hamas shoot rockets on Rishon LeZion, and that's Rishon LeZion is like a small city in Israel, and we had 2 proms in this night, and one of the missiles hit like 1 kilometer, let's say in miles, 3 miles from
Not even 3 miles.
2 miles from the place that we should have the parties.
Yeah.
And we canceled it.
Wow.
So it's like we lost like $50,000 like that. But most of the time it's fine. We have a great country. Beside the world.
Beside the words, yeah.
And that's it.
So with 5,000 kids, if you're doing an average $150 a kid, that's $750,000 US dollars in gross revenue a year for a seasonal business.
Yeah.
And what's the average net on a person?
Net before taxes, it's around 33%. That's our margin.
And then taxes crush you in Israel.
And then taxes, they kill you. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I just read about it. Israel is number 6, I think, in the world on personal taxes.
No.
Number 6.
What do you get taxed?
And if you take off few things, we are number 2 or 3. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Like what, a few dictatorships? Yeah, I said it, not you. Wow.
Yeah. Number 6.
So you get wrecked right after all your income comes.
You try to do whatever you can do, like legal, and that's it. You know?
Yeah.
But
well, Israel's different than here. I remember seeing like the IRS comes to your house, they're at the bank, like they're everywhere. Is it whatever it's called, Mas Akhnasa, right?
Oh yeah.
In
it's
Israel.
like IRS, but if they knocked on your door, you have a problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they're knocking on people's doors like crazy. Isn't like the biggest
Not
issue?
like crazy. It's like they're very difficult with you. You know, it's not like here they give you an update. Listen, we're gonna check your books in 6 months or stuff like that. You either just show me your papers, show me your documents right now, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Intense. Isn't that the biggest cause of like people getting arrested? Tax evasion in Israel?
No, I don't think so.
I thought I read something where it was like the most businessmen in the country of Israel get in trouble for tax issues.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I have no idea. Maybe.
What else could it be?
I don't know. It's a complicated country, so a lot of things.
Anyway, so with these proms, so you're making all this money in the proms. What was the most amount of proms you did in a year?
What?
The most amount of proms you did in 1 year.
31 maximum. I can't do more than 31, like 30 max, because we have only 40 nights. Because we have weekends, you can do proms because Israel is a very religious place, so Shabbat and Shishi, and we can do that. And like Wednesday and Thursday, רגע, שהוא לא יקליט, Thursday זה יום חמישי.
Okay.
So Wednesday and Thursday, it's like the most expensive days at the events halls, so we can do the proms.
So they charge a lot.
Yeah, they charge a lot. So we have only Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and that's it.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Tuesday, sorry.
Yeah.
So that's it. So we have only 3 days. And the kids have a lot of tests before they finish the high school.
Got it.
So we have maybe 40 nights. So sometimes I have 3-4 proms in one
14
night.
nights.
Yeah, that's it.
Got it.
And each school it's different day because they have different tests and stuff like that. So sometimes we have, last year I have first time in my life, one night with 4 proms.
Wow.
Yeah, I almost died. So,
Wow. And
yeah,
how many
super stressful.
How many schools are there even in the country of Israel?
140,
High schools.
145.
So with 31 schools, you're at...
That's it.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of competitors, but they are small, like 10, 12, 8, 16, 18. There is 2 more big groups. They also producing a lot, but they are like 4 or 5 partners, and
So you have over 20% of the market share.
yeah, but I'm only one guy,
Yeah. We have a couple people working with you,
They're working with me, yeah.
but it's your company. I
Yeah.
get it. So, wow. So you hit your ceiling. So you feel it.
That's
you know
it.
you're at your ceiling.
That's it.
And everyone else is competing for these same venues. And Israel's a small country, so it's tough. It's a tight
Small
market.
and remember, in Israel, like you're not driving 1 hour to meet with a client or 2 hours. It's not common, So I'm working only with the central district of Israel.
So it sounds like
It's not Darom, or it's not North, or it's
Yeah.
like just Tel Aviv, Rishon LeZion, all the center.
Got it.
Yeah.
And those are the bigger schools.
Only the bigger.
Got it. It sounds like the business to be in is owning the venues where people have to rent from you. Because how much does it cost to rent for a night?
Yeah, it's cost like between $10,000. Sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. But when I start with it, like when I start to be big, my strategy was like, I'm gonna rent the hottest place up front, like 1 year up front. I'm gonna pick the hottest dates for proms, and if one of my colleagues want this date, I'm gonna sell him it.
I
And
see.
that's how I can make more money.
Like retrade the lease for that
Exactly.
night.
So if I rent it for $8,000, so I sell it for $15,000. So that's how I locked a lot of schools, because even if they don't choose me,
They can't get the venue.
that's it. So
Wow.
if they work with one of my colleagues, so he become my partner on this event, and I'm not do nothing. Just get it.
Israelis are so smart.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I don't compete with you guys in Israel.
Nah.
So I would get wrecked. That's crazy. What a thought process. So you're booking a year up front, so if anybody else tries to compete with you, they have to
Yeah.
buy you out.
Yeah, but it's all about the relationship with the owners of the place. So it's
So how much
like
does a venue
5-6
cost?
years.
How much does a venue like that cost?
I told you between 8.
No, to buy it.
Oh, to buy the place?
Yeah.
No. Between $10 million, 12, 15.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. It depends. If it's a small place, you can buy it for $1 million or 1.5. If it's a big places, like the places that I work for, between 10 to 20. I think the most expensive place that I did a big prom, it was the biggest prom in Israel, 600 kids. This place, it's like $35 million.
Wow.
But it's super exclusive and super fancy,
Yeah, but those are big numbers.
Big numbers, yeah. Big
That's-
numbers. Because this industry in Israel, it's super popular, Everybody that get married, it need to be super fancy and luxury, and you
Yeah.
know how it's working in Israel.
Of course. So you're taking your money from Israel and you're bringing it to America now.
Unfortunately. No, I'm joking. Yeah, like I manage a lot of real estate in Israel in the past 10 years, but my own real estate and my family real estate. And 3 years ago, I just came to New York and I told you, Alon, I don't care about nothing. We're going to do something together.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah.
And you say, come on, it's a small money. I say, no, it's going to be big. So we started in New York, in Long Island, and since then we did like 16 deals.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and many more to come.
Many, many more to come.
Amen.
Amen.
But the problem now, every time we do a deal together, it's like there's
There
a
is
fucking problem.
Yeah. COVID and...
Like we do a deal together where we finish up, we're wrapping up, we're about to refinance. Boom, COVID hits.
Yeah.
All our loans fall from underneath us. We have a hard loan that's closing out. What a mess.
Yeah.
Fast forward till now, we do the same thing. We buy 14 properties. We're about to refinance. We literally have a term sheet in hand. Boom, the rate market goes off the charts.
7.2%.
Yeah. As we have it, like we're about to close.
Yeah.
And everything gets retraded on this last second. But what can we do?
Nothing. We need to handle with that and we figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a nice trip this week, so we're going to see everything. It's going to be fun.
But what's the difference between the American real estate market and the Israeli real estate market?
Everything. It's a completely different game. Everything. Like, first of all, try to get a property in Israel for 20% down the market value. Under the market value. Like 20%, 30%. No way. Maybe you can find 5%, 3%, 7%. Maybe, but it's almost impossible. Because we have very small country, very small market, and big shocks. A lot. Like everyone is shocks.
Yeah.
You know? So it's different game.
For sure.
Yeah, America, it's a huge country. Of course, you have competitors, you have everything, but it's different. We don't have the same process with refinance, the same possibilities for leverages and stuff like that. It's a completely different game. Like in Israel, you can get high income for commercial, but super low income, like 2-3% a year for apartments.
Wow.
Here it's different. Here it's the opposite, right?
Yeah.
So it's different game, super different.
So you don't have refinances in Israel?
You can refi, but for what? Like, because when you buy a house with a mortgage in Israel, you get it for average of 2.2, 2.3%.
Right.
So why you refi?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but to get your money
we have hard money in Israel, but it's super rare. Like nobody did it, almost nobody. And I told you the problem in Israel is to get a deal, like a good deal. But we have one very good upside in the Israeli market. Of course, it's the appreciation.
Yeah.
You know, it's like last year it's 11%, and in Tel Aviv it's 16%.
I heard that.
And that's insane. It's the same in Houston.
Yeah.
St. Louis 14%, so it's the same.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. But now I think the prices are top dollar. Like it's almost impossible to buy an apartment. Like a shitty apartment, $1 million.
And the rent to acquisition price,
nothing.
like the rent to value, it's crazy.
Nothing.
Like you're paying $1,500.
Basically in Tel Aviv you lose money every year.
Yeah. Well, more than just Tel Aviv. If you
but then you get the appreciation, you know, like you get extra.
Yeah, but you're losing cash flow.
You lose cash. There's no cash flow. That's why I love New York. That's why I love America, because our business is to build a cash flow for our future. Just a cash flow. We don't looking for flips and shit like that.
Yeah.
Just cash flow.
And we have appreciation.
And of course, and this is just the bonus. You know, we can't predict the future. Of course, it's extra, but cash flow. We make like 8-9% day one.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
That's what I love in America.
And in Israel, that's impossible. So give us an example of an Israeli.
It's impossible if you bought the property like 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
Oh, then it's possible.
Like my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad bought the supermarket.
Everything, but it's like 20 years, 25 years, 21, you know. It's not like... Today, if you want to buy it and you want to make a positive cash flow, it's super hard.
Wow.
Super hard. And especially if you want to take a loan or mortgage for commercial, it's maximum 15 years.
Oh yeah, they have 15 years
12 years. You
it's
don't
not
have
like
30 years, 25. So
your payments are high.
You pay everything and extra. Like
wow.
You get the rent, you add another 30% from the rent. Just
wow.
to cover the mortgage.
And they still lend to you.
Of course.
Because here you won't cover something called your debt service coverage ratio, so they won't lend to you.
No.
But in Israel, that's the standard.
No, it's depend on the business because it's commercial. So if you buy it, why you buy it? If it's for investment, you need to show how you're going to cover it. But if it's for your business, so it's different.
Got it.
You know? Yeah.
Wow.
It's different again. It's just different.
To be a businessman in Israel. This is why I love Israelis so much.
Sinatra say if you make it there, you can make it everywhere. And talk about New York.
Talk about Israel.
Let's talk about Israel and Tel Aviv, and then it's...
Yeah, if you can make it in Israel, you can thrive anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
I love you. L'chaim.
I love you. L'chaim. To many more
It's a
deals
pleasure.
together.
Amen.